Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool back again with another Epic 7 video for you guys today. And today we're going to be talking about the balanced adjustment that is going to be taking place on the 29th of this month, September. We're going to be talking about what I personally think about these changes and also what is being changed in general. That being said though, if you guys aren't already following me on Instagram guys, make sure you guys follow me there. At 20k subscribers on YouTube, we will be doing a giveaway on Instagram. All you have to do to participate is follow me on Instagram and like the post that I upload once I do hit that 20k subscriber milestone. That being said, let's talk about what units are being hit and also what artifacts are also being buffed as well. So we have Strays, Ravi, Kiron, Aria, Taiyu, Reyna, MLG Dingo, Kiwana, and also Samool. Now for artifacts, we have Magic for Friends, and we also have Unfading Memory. So we have Mercedes artifact and also DN's artifact. So let's first talk about Strays. So personally, I do not know why Strays is getting buffed. But you're going to see what's getting buffed is that his skill cannot actually get counterattacked anymore, right? So his S3 will not be able to get counterattacked. Now I think this is very weird because Strays is already in a good spot. Sure, he's not super OP. You don't see him everywhere in World Arena or in Guild Wars and stuff like that. But he's a very good counter pick to teams that are very slow. Like you saw him a bit in the Epic 7 World Championship. You see him a lot sometimes still in World Arena, and the biggest counter to his kit was actually counterattacks, right? Like Rem, Violet, and stuff like that. But now he doesn't really have a counter. The best counter to Strays now is just making sure he doesn't get a turn, and I feel like if that's the way you counter a unit, it's not really healthy for the game. I think removing this was a pretty bad choice from Smilegate. I think he was perfectly fine. There are a lot more ML5 stars that need buffs more than Strays. I think Strays was in a good spot, so very, very weird. Not a big fan. Next, we have Ravi. So I'm a huge fan of Ravi getting buffed. I think she's a very fun unit to use. You're going to see that her S2 is getting buffed, her passive. Now she will start the battle with 40 Fighting Spirit, which is very nice. She'll be able to S3 a lot more quicker. And you're going to see she's getting more effectiveness as the fight goes on when she is attacking, right? Or after she gets attacked, rather. Next, you'll see her S3 is also getting buffed. Instead of just stunning, it'll also penetrate defense. But you're also going to see instead of it doing more damage, or actually it will do more damage overall, but you're also going to see that the damage dealt flat will be decreased. I personally think this will be just a damage buff overall because penetration defense is crazy. 50% is very, very nice as well. Especially versus tankier units, this will do a lot more damage. And Ravi is a unit that you pick into tankier teams, so this is a very, very good buff for her. You're also going to see that she'll get an exclusive equipment change. So you're going to see now instead of her S1 having that one option to burn for 2 turns, which was pretty much completely useless, you'll have a chance to make the enemy unbuffable for 1 turn, which is very nice. Personally, I still think you'll use the cleansing one because the cleansing one is very, very OP on her. But this is a very good second option. The burn chance was pretty useless. Now we have Kiron's buff, guys. You're going to see that his S1 is getting changed. The text is being updated, but you're also going to see that if he counters with his S1 now, if he's buffed, he'll be able to actually AoE. So it'll make counter set Kiron a lot more stronger. You're also going to see his passive is getting buffed, right? Now, not only will he get immortality, but he'll also get evasion for 1 turn, making him a lot more annoying to deal with. He's going to become a very, very solid answer for Cleave because, you know, in the past, his biggest weakness was that his immortality can get stripped, but now, you know, if you don't even run him on a high effect resist build, you have a chance to dodge that strip or dispel because of that increased evasion buff, making there be more RNG in his kit, which is very good against Cleave. Now we have Aria, guys. I don't know why Aria got buffed. I think she's in a perfectly fine spot, but you're going to see that her damage is going to get buffed overall. You're also going to see that the effect chance of her S1 of applying that decreased hit chance will actually be increased if it is not her turn. So when she's counterattacking, right, or when she gets a dual attack, she'll be able to increase that effect chance. Also, you're going to see that instead of her HP decreasing, increasing her critical hit damage, she's just going to get a flat damage increase, and the barrier strength will get increased as well. So pretty cool. I think, you know, she was in a fine spot in my opinion, but I guess you can buff her because she wasn't like super OP. But come on, there's so many more units that need buffs. Next, we have Taiyu. So Taiyu, I think, is a unit that definitely needed a buff. He was released as a Payra and Hwayong counter, but he doesn't even really do that. But now he seems like a very decent unit. You're going to see that his Tornado Sweep will actually be able to, you know, dispel all buffs now instead of 2 buffs. And you're also going to see it'll give him a speed buff, right? And now, when he's enraged, it will ignore effect resist. So it'll be very, very good at, stripping high ER units. It's very, very nice buff for him. I think in the past, he wasn't used that much at all. With these changes, maybe he'll be used a bit more as a, more general dispeller or opener and stuff like that. Still think he won't be that great, but it definitely will be more usable. Now we have a Rowana buff. So I don't know why Rowana is getting buffed either, guys. Like, she was perfectly fine as well, right? She is a very strong counter pick to meta units, right? Like Bellion, Ram, anything with a counter attack, right? And now she's getting even more stronger. They're going to give her a barrier on her S3 as well. That will be pretty thick. I don't know why this is a thing, because Rowana was already like a permanent ban in World Arena if you picked her in the right situation. Now it just makes it so that you definitely have to ban her. So I'm not too sure why this is a thing. Yeah, I think it's pretty weird, but I guess. Now we have ML Dingo. I think this is one of the most underrated units in the game, especially for PvE. You're going to see that he's getting a defense break on one of his skills now, and I think this is a very, very good buff for him, because it'll make it so that he can be a lot more usable in PvE, because he can also defense break for your team. So definitely, Blaze Dingo, not a unit you should sleep on as a newer player. For PvE, he's a very strong damage dealing unit. Now we have Fire Kiwana. So you're going to see that she's getting buffed because she'll be able to attack buff her team now. Well, I guess she did that before, but now she also grants skill nullifier to all fire elemental allies. And if you look at the text here, in the past, what needed to happen is all of your allies needed to be fire units. Now she just buffs fire units on your team with that skill nullifier. So if you have 3 fire units and 1 ice unit, before these buffs, you will not get that skill nully. But now if you have 3 fire units and 1 ice unit, your 3 fire units will still get that skill nullifier. So now we have a Soul, the Moonlight 3-star unit. So she was basically designed to kind of counterattack units and evasion units. So yeah, kind of like Violet and Rylet and stuff like that. You're going to see that, she is getting buffed because she wasn't really fitting that role. You're going to see that now whenever she counterattacks, right, she'll still, or even applies a dual attack, she will apply that fixed damage. Before, you had to use it on your own turn to actually additionally inflict that fixed damage. So pretty nice small buff. You're also going to see that very huge buff on her passive. Whenever an ally suffers a counterattack, you'll decrease the damage suffered by 25%, which is crazy. They are nerfing the CR push on this S2 though for herself by 5%. You're also going to see that this will not only increase the fixed damage of your S1 now, but also your S3. So whenever an enemy counterattacks, your S1 and S3 will get scaling fixed damage instead of just your S1. So very nice, because her S3 is an AoE attack now, and you're going to see that this will inflict fixed damage regardless of whether the attack hits. And after you suffer a counterattack, you'll decrease skill cooldowns by 1 turn. I think this is a pretty huge buff for her. I think it'll make her very strong. She does lose that speed buff now, but the thing is, right, she does get a lot of damage. She gets a defense buff for her team. She's even getting a barrier for her team, or for herself now. So I think, her Soul might be a very good unit into units like Violet and stuff like that. Anything with a lot of counters, maybe even like Rem and stuff like that. So very cool. I'll definitely have to test her out. Now we have the artifacts that are getting buffed. So the first artifact getting buffed is Mercedes artifact. So the Mercedes artifact is making her be able to take 5% less damage from crits. And you're also going to see that sometimes whenever Mercedes died, what would happen is her artifact could proc, and then it would not be able to proc for another 2 turns, right? But now when you die, it will not proc. So when you revive, you have a chance to RNG again. So what do I think about this buff? Why would you buff Mercedes? Like, Mercedes is already so strong. She's literally in like almost every single top tier Guild Wars defense. You even see her in almost all of the top tier arena defenses as well. And in PvP, she's just a menace, right? Even in World Arena, like, you see her pop up from time to time. She's very strong. Don't know why Smilegate is buffing her artifact. What I think is they're going to release that limited skin that they released last year again. So maybe they decided to buff Mercedes, but very weird. She's like very strong. Like, if you look at the usage rate of her, she has to be like one of the top tier units for both Arena and Guild Wars defense. So very weird, Smilegate. I don't know what you're thinking, but cool, I guess. I'll just have to, just put better gear on my Mercedes now, even though she's on very good gear. Now we have Diane's artifact getting buffed. So I think this buff is a very good buff, because Diane's artifact was very bad, right? It was a very small heal on everyone after you use a non-attack skill, but now the heal is getting buffed a little, and now you'll get more effect resist. I think this is pretty decent. I don't know if it'll be better than Rod for Diane. Then Yeah, better than Rod for the end now, but the ER buff is actually pretty huge. 25% effect resist is nothing to scoff at. I think maybe I'll test this out on my DN, but for now I think Rod will still be better. Effect resist, right, especially on DN, you don't go for anything super high, but if you do decide to run your DN on a super high effect resist build, then I think this will be very good. This might even be good on units like Amelia, because Amelia likes to be built on super high speed, so maybe the effect resist buff will make it easier to build her, and also she'll be able to heal her allies pretty effectively as well. So that being said, that's pretty much it for these patch notes, guys. I think a lot of these buffs were super unnecessary. I think Smilegate should have buffed different units, but I think a few of these buffs were pretty cool, right? Ravi buff, Kiron buff, Taiyu, MLG Dingo, and Samool. The other ones, and I guess Unfading Memories, but I think like half of these buffs were like pretty unnecessary. I think Smilegate definitely needs to buff certain units that need help, right? Like haste, like ML Araminta, stuff like that. I think like buffing like Kiwana and like strays are like just super weird, especially like Mercedes buff as well. So that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram to participate in the giveaway that's happening at 20k subscribers, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.